Hello, 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 beautiful people. My name is Sonia Marie. If you are new to my channel, and if you're not, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. I'm a little mellow today, at least for this moment in time, before I get a little energy from y'all. And before, spirit just pumps me up a little bit. It happens like that. In any case, today is Monday, August 15th. Whew, halfway through the month, going fast. I'm just going to say it like that. The earth, they said, scientists have proven that the earth is moving and going faster than usual. I don't have those facts, but intuitively, I know it to be true, and it's been happening for the last couple of years. It seems a little mind boggling, though, because the moment you feel like you've gotten a lesson or feel a little celebratory or you've received whatever you received, you got to empty out and give away something. It's just interesting, the speed of the planet. And I don't know how many of you, those that are rolling on in, and I'm doing my best to take my time because the notifications are coming to people right now for those that are seeing this after the fact, the recording. So, in any case, yeah, I don't know what the planet is doing in that sense, but it's just making it feel like the moment we get it, breathe. Oh, it's another situation. I got to get this situation. The moment we get that, breathe, and it's another situation. I got to feel. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that. I know I am. And this weekend was a little bit of that. How was your weekend? As everybody is rolling on in, Ramon is here. What up, Roxy? How you doing, Jackie? Miss Renee 63. Kay Lauren is here. Loves love. What's happening, Rachel? Hi, Mina Love. What's going on? April and Chelsea Gunn is here. Catherine, I said your name. Did I say your names already? But it is. Hi, Erica. Hello to you, and I'm so glad that y'all slipped on in here. Thank you for the thumbs up already. I appreciate you. Thank you for just your presence and connecting like we do. Like I said, I'm feeling a little mellow today, but we'll see what's going on. And there's not too many major changes, but I know one thing: that full moon and whipped the motherfucker's ass. Whipped my booty, that's for sure. How about yours? That last one in Aquarius, it tries to be nice, but then Aquarius information is very, very tricky at times. I don't know if I ever explained this to y'all. I know I have to the Village Hut. I'm gonna go along with this week in a minute, y'all. If y'all new to my channel, sometimes I ramble, sometimes I have downloads, other times I get off track. Squirrel moments to bring in some information and then I get right back on. But I will talk about this week and I will read two people based on your sun, your moon, and your rising at the end of this forecast. All right. So hold on tight if you'd like that opportunity. Um, shit, I just forgot what I was talking about. Ain't that something? Oh, the full moon. Oh, and Aquarius. Aquarius energy can be tricky. And this is the analogy that I was going to suggest and offer up. The reason why it can be so tricky, and I'm not going to talk about last week, but I just had this thought, is that Aquarius is a very free spirited kind of thing. So when it was in that full moon over Thursday, Friday, and you still felt remnants of it during the weekend, you feel a real interesting kind of shift, right? And again, the analogy is to me, Aquarius is like a balloon. It's very, very free standing because it's a rebel in that way. It's unique in that way. It blows where it wants to blow, but it's restricted in the same way because it's a fixed sign. It's a stubborn sign, a stubborn energy. So although Aquarius energy is very, very friendly and very freestanding and out there in the world and different and weird and unique in its own way, there's a rigidness about it too. Hence that string that keeps the balloon afloat. It's the rigidness about it too that says, well, I'm just gonna be as free as I want to be free. I'm gonna be as different as I want to be different until you peep that I'm different, and then I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna be, in agreement until I'm not in agreement because I have no understanding why I'm not in agreement. Again, I just want to go somewhere else. So that full moon is interesting because it wants to release a whole bunch of other stuff, but then it like clogs you up in your release, like constipation. I don't know if y'all felt that. Yes, yes, y'all. Again, the feeling this weekend is like you want to release some things, and then it's a like it's a whatever that is. I don't want to be crass because I just had a weird ass thought in my mind. But it's literally like something coming to the edge, and you're like, do I want to? I don't know if I want to change. I don't know if I want to release this because it's an Aquarius. And I don't know what the fuck I want to do right now. And as a matter of fact, you ain't gonna tell me to release it. You, lady, man, whoever you are, you ain't gonna tell me to release it. And it's like up there this weekend. And it's like, come on, keep it moving. The reason why I revisited that fact, because God is dope like that. The reason why I revisited that fact and mull over it, chew on it, think about it over the past, what this past weekend brought you in regards to that thick, stubborn, weird, flying balloon kind of effect emotions that Aquarius wants to give, wants to let go, but didn't really want to let go because you can't tell me what to do. You ain't the boss of me kind of feel. It kind of goes over into this week because, again, I deal in layers. When I teach, when I share, when I process the information for myself, I try to see the buildup of where astrology is going. I have to remind y'all all the time. And for those that are new, I want y'all to know how I teach. So the bottom line is that air energy was left like, I don't know if I should go. But this week, is Mercury is being aspected in some very interesting ways. So for those that take notes, please pay attention to the aspects, to the relationships with other planets and other entities this week. Also, Mars is going into Gemini. Gemini, you say, yes, for all the students out there. So if Mars is going into Gemini and Mercury is being affected, Mercury is Gemini's planet. Okay. Mercury is Gemini's planet that says, oh, we got to think different. We got to do different. We got to plan different in order to move in the way Gemini wants us to move. Now, why is Gemini important? Because with Mars and Gemini and Mercury being affected, Gemini's planet, Aquarius full moon set us up this past weekend. So basically, the information and the planning and the thought process that's happening this week is being forced, or I should say, is pushing that stubbornness, full moon shit, whatever remnants that are extra, whatever things you went through emotionally this week, this past weekend, this week with that Gemini energy forging through in a different type of way is asking you, okay, think about it. Use the brain, use air sign capability, use the intellect, use the way you speak, negotiate, process information in order to really pop the cork off of that full moon stubbornness if you've been experiencing that. Yes, yes, y'all. Y'all get what I'm talking about? Roxy, you there for me? All right, baby. I'm so glad you get it. And anybody else? Yes, yes. Ask questions if you need to, but make sure they're as pointed and as detailed as possible. Information gets lost in translation. Y'all know that via chats and text and shit like that. That's why, Squirrel, I never like having arguments through text. It's like, call me if you want to curse me out, because all that text shit, that's so whack. Anyway, because you can't really hear what the person is saying, the intentions. Like, really, hello? What are you talking about? Did you say motherfucker, or did you say my motherfucker? Like, again, back to the motherfuckers. If y'all saw last week's video. Okay, or the week before that. So let's talk about the week. Let's talk about the week. Yay. Thank you, Miss Reese 63. I appreciate you responding. Let me know if y'all can't hear me because I'm covering the speaker with my book here and my notes. Today, the moon is in Aries. And then on top of that, after that full moon, and, the moon ends up going into Aries in Pisces, and then now it's in Aries. So it's a lot of emotional information, and it's a lot of, now it's more forthright. When the moon is in Aries, it's like, fuck everybody. Let's just blare past this. Let's just go. Let's just go. However, the moon wants to express itself today in Aries as it, as it conjuncts Jupiter. Jupiter is going retrograde. Hi, bijou. As it's going retrograde. So the moon is conjuncting Jupiter as it goes retrograde. Today will feel, in essence, like a better day, in a sense, like the past, compared to the past 2 days. If you got emotional, if things blew up, if you felt your stubbornness of that full moon energy trying to release some shit and you don't want to release it, like constipation, today will feel a little easy, because at least our expression of Aries is like, let's push past whatever it is we're feeling, whatever it is we're going through. Let's go forward. I love Aries energy for that. I love Aries people in my life for that. Although it can be a little challenging dealing with them personally, and this is just my Cancer stuff, from an emotional level at times, I like the fact that they can wake you up and say, all right, stop crying. Stop thinking about it. Stop holding on to the past. Let's go forward. So the moon in Aries today, hitting Jupiter going retrograde in Aries, is allowing us to take the gems, the skittles, past rewards and information awards to be able to move forward. To say, okay, today, yeah, this weekend was crazy, but listen, you woke up today with, I don't know, an opportunity, a great conversation, a new person to talk to. You know what I mean? You got some prospects coming through an email. At the end of this week, you may get that check for $5,000. The bottom line, look forward. Look for the new things in this day that's helping you to move forward and feel happy about that thing. That's just it. Look for the sun. Look for the brightness in today. Look for the opportunities within today. Okay, this is Monday, the 15th, if I didn't say it already. Tuesday, tomorrow, in the evening, though, what you call it? What you call it? The moon goes into Taurus, right? But it's in the evening, 10:22 p.m. on the east side of life. So, yeah, I went live on Facebook and really felt like the dialogue. I understand that, Roxy. I'm sorry. Um, oh, okay. I see the other one. The tears. The tears and only the tears, Roxy. Yeah. Okay. In any case, let me not get distracted because now I want to talk to my Scorpio sister. Anyway, Tuesday. It's so most of the day tomorrow, the moon will be in Aries. Again, keeping us moving forward. The moon is going to sextile Saturn. Pay attention to Saturn's relationships and aspects this week as well, because I know I told y'all this, but you have to remember that even though the Earth is moving quickly, even though we had that Uranus North Node thing coming in and sitting us on, or I should say, blasting us on a different type of purpose and a different way of being for a better quality of life, there's still 4 planets that are going retrograde. So through all this newness and all this readiness to go forward, to catch up with the speed of the planet, so to speak, we are going backwards in a lot of ways. Reviewing Saturn shit, Jupiter shit, Neptune shit, and Pluto shit is still happening. Like things are still moving. Things are still like developing, but we got to see what didn't work first. And I'll be honest with you, I, for one, am tired of it. But I understand the necessity of it. Can I squirrel out for a second and just hit on this download real quick before I keep going on to Tuesday? I was in the shower. I get my hits in the shower. And I'm in the shower and I'm thinking a couple of things happened this week that made me feel sad, but that absolutely made me feel like I was growing and moving forward, because it was hitting these retrograde planets. And that's what happens. It's like the more you wipe the table, and wiping the table is like that retrograde moment of going backwards, so to speak, and really getting to the dirt, getting to the corners, cleaning out a tooth, with a toothbrush, the corners of the room, getting down and dirty with it. So when it's time to like really revisit what that thing is, you feel differently. And I'm saying that to say is that that's where I got this weekend. Although I am, for one, am a little bit exhausted about revisiting my own challenges, revisiting my familial trauma, and trying to heal through that. Holding everybody else's, or people that I'm close to, their problems and their situations and their sadness, right? I'm kind of over it in a sense. But these retrograde planets offer us an opportunity, again, just reiterating, to not only be over it, but to respond differently. So as I'm in the shower, I'm like, yes, this weekend was interesting, but I don't feel like being hard on myself this time. This weekend was interesting and things came up, and I'm not being specific because a lot of things are sacred, right? These things are coming up in my life, and I'm just saying this out loud in case y'all all, somebody else has experienced this. These things are coming up in my life, but you know what? I don't feel like sliding back into that same, again, reaction, being hard on myself or being critical on another or blaming another, whatever defense, projection, situations that I would find myself into, or the feelings that I would have months ago, years ago. This weekend, I said, well, goddamn, with these retrograde planets and me visiting this over and over and over again, it is doing something. because it's actually allowing me to look at it differently. Like, nah, son, you're not going to beat yourself up this time. You are a motherfucking human. You are a human being and things happen. You are growing and you ask for the love and the respect in which people can give you. And if they can, they can. If they can't, kick rocks. The bottom line is we are cleaning out the corners of our existence so we can respond different and have different perspectives in life. So if you are like me and exhausted by revisiting all of this pain and wounds and shit like that, then look for different reactions, look for different mindsets, look for different perspectives and different morals that come out of revisiting through these four planets going retrograde. All right. Saturn, for one, being fears and challenges and lessons and restrictions and boundaries. Neptune being our imagination, bad habits, addictions. You understand what I'm saying? Cloudiness, denial on some level. Uranus is going retrograde. Well, no. Hold on. Let me back up. Nah, I'm not too sure about that. I have to check on that. But I know Jupiter is going retrograde, revisiting um, uh, opportunities and stuff, the goodness of who we are. And that's a big deal. That's why that moon is conjuncting Jupiter today. On the heels of me saying I'm going to respond differently, I'm also like, let's move forward because Jupiter says, I still got fucking gems, man. I'm still a good person. You're still a good person. You're still doing what you need to do. You're still seeing Jupiter skittles and happiness and opportunity and positivity the best way you know how. With Pluto going retrograde again, and this is just me spewing out information. I'm going to get back on track in a minute, but we have to see our growth is the point. Pluto going retrograde and revisiting opportunities and sometimes the stuckness. My girlfriend said this week, and Vaughn said, and it just sticks with me, Vaughn. If you on here, I don't know where you at, but it just sticks with me. I'm slow, but I ain't stuck. And that's what that feeling is when Pluto is going retrograde. It's like it's slow trying to come to its transformation and recognizing its power, but it ain't stuck. And that's one of the things. So have you been feeling that? Have you been feeling like even though you keep revisiting the same situations over and over and over again, do you feel like you're moving? Because if you're moving through it and you're gaining inches, even centimeters, even of understanding and maturation, then you're winning. You're winning. And at least that's my opinion, based on what has gone throughout my life and based on what I've seen in the last couple of days in other people's lives. Again, respond differently for you to keep yourself moving forward to receive this better quality of life that you freaking deserve. All right, tomorrow, Tuesday, again, the moon is going to be in Aries, but it's sextile in Saturn. That's where I got on this weird ass squirrel, right? Saturn is revisiting that pain, those lessons, those fears, right? Saying, yo, get those lessons of friendships and humanities and your detachment out of the way. See what it is and move forward, right? Tomorrow, sorry. The moon will trine the sun. Move from your chest, as I put here, with passion and directness. The moon is in Aries, and the sun will, of course, is in Leo because we're still in Leo season, right? The beautiful thing about this is that fire. Sometimes, fire can be reckless. Sometimes fire can be aggressive. Sometimes fire energy, again, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, can be a little selfish or a little self-centered, definitely forthright. But here's the deal with fire. Fire gets us out. Fire gets us out of the mud, out of the murk. Like I alluded to earlier, fire gives us passion and gives us direction and says, all right, enough is enough. Let's keep it moving. We sat here, we contemplated, let's keep moving. Because again, like I said at the top of this broadcast, the earth is moving so quickly. We're getting a lesson on Tuesday, we exhale, and the next thing you know, Thursday comes, and it's a whole nother lesson. It's exhausting, but it's moving fast. And with this fire energy in this moment in time, and all these retro fields, at least tomorrow with the sun and the moon coming together, there's a propulsion, hopefully speaking, from your chest that has you go, I'm just moving passionately, like the Care Bears with the energy coming out of their chest. I'm just moving forward with love, with passion, with understanding, with knowing who I am, even if it is slightly self-centered. because somehow, somewhere, you need to go get the fuck out the way so I can keep going. Y'all not gonna swallow me here in this goddamn quicksand. You're not gonna make me feel bad about myself for just being me and learning my lessons and knowing how far I came from or where I came from. Do y'all get that? Sometimes people show up, squirrel, in your life, seeing you at a particular level and knowing, I mean, seeing you at a particular level, you relaying to them, I need to grow. I'm going to keep growing. And they're hard on you because they see you needing to grow from that level to another level. But honestly, they don't stop to qualify where you came from. Or when you tell them where you came from, they still want you to move forward with this fever, with this urgency that sometimes can make you feel bad and say, well, damn, am I doing enough? Or actually their perception of you is from this level. They don't see the track that you came from. But here's the point. It ain't up to them. It ain't up for them to recognize how far you've come. It's up to you. And that's when this moon and the sun gets into the moon being in the Aries, the sun being in Leo tomorrow, and they're coming together in a trine. That's where that dun 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 feel can come from your chest like the Care Bear. I've been growing. I've been doing this. Let me take my fire ass, this fire energy, even if you're a totally different sign. Let me take this fire energy and move forward in the universe, move forward in where I am in my life, move forward in my relationships and not lose an ounce of sleep because I'm convicted to be in myself and I know how far I've come. Does that make sense? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I just had to get that out. Tuesday. Now, this is where I want y'all to start paying attention. Mercury. Mercury is trining Uranus. Think and speak and plan differently, right? Because Uranus is about the weird, is about the unconventional. Uranus is about being unique. Uranus is about swift change. So Mercury, again, Gemini's planet. Keep that tucked in your bra, okay? And if you're a man, put it in your pipe and smoke it. Right? But Mercury is trining Uranus. That means Mercury is saying, yo, I need to open up my brain. I need to open up different ways. I need to open up different ways of communication. Now that I know who I am, now that I know I have to push forward, I also have to know what other words to use in a conversation in order to represent this newness and this newness of me and new quality of life. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, y'all. There's a newness that needs to land on our tongue in order to represent the new person, the new vibration, the new spirit, or I should say your original spirit and how it comes out your body. There's a new way to speak in order to represent where you're going. And that's a trick, y'all. That's a trick because oftentimes emotions and how we've learned things is so embedded in our DNA that even though we are new people, sometimes, or we're becoming new people and having new ideologies, sometimes we slide back like chutes and ladders down the fucking ladder and reverse and go into how we used to talk or go into how people used to say things to us or how we were taught from our parents and how we were brought up in different perspectives. So it comes off our tongue totally wrong and in an opposite direction of where we're actually going. Does this make sense? So tomorrow, with Mercury trine Uranus, it's like take the opportunity to look in your thesaurus and get some extra words that mean differently, but saying the same things. You understand what I mean? Use your intellect. Use your words, boo boo. That's what we used to say to the kids, right? Use your words. That's a big freaking deal. Again, the way we think, the way we speak, the way we communicate, the way we gather information via Mercury is being challenged in the best way possible, right? To shift and to shake and to represent who we're becoming. On Tuesday, too, the moon is squaring Pluto. Uh-oh. Eruptions can happen. The moon being in Aries for sure, and Pluto being in Capricorn, going reverse. That's a big deal. And that's about control and that's about leadership. Just watch yourself and know that even though we are trying to formulate new words, even though we are trying to formulate new thoughts, new ways of communicating, having different plans, including people, being considerate, that there's a possibility that the emotions can take it totally to the left. with the moon squaring Pluto, because somebody wants to gain power. Is it you or the next person? Somebody wants to gain some type of edge, some type of a superiority in a sense, right? I'm going to say the most fancy words to get you to understand me. I'm going to manipulate you the best to get you to do what I want to do. But then after a while, you realize that, you're being manipulated, that moon and Pluto coming together can erupt. Y'all hearing me? This is a big deal tomorrow. So you got to separate. Is your mind or is your emotions? You understand? I'm going to use the words that I'm going to use, and stay by my words, or I'm going to allow this emotional fever coming up around me to spark and erupt and challenge everybody and blow the fucking spot up, to be honest with you, because Pluto coming together with the moon, that's not like a little campfire. That's a goddamn infernal, like for real. All right, on Wednesday, the moon is squaring Venus. The moon being in Taurus, Venus being into Leo. Again, fixed signs. Understand this, the moon in Taurus is very caring in its own way, right? In a lot of ways. Very much of a martyr. I love moon in Taurus people and energy, because it can leave us really calm, right? And with the notion of, okay, we're going to do this in a way in which we can be settled, calm, methodical, strategical. However, it's squaring Venus. So somebody's coming up against the emotions, or something is coming up against the emotions to challenge that calmness. So Venus in Leo, again, is big. It's gregarious. It's generous. It just looks really loud at times in all kinds of ways, right? And this moon in Taurus is not liking it. When the moon in Taurus responds, when it doesn't like something, it can be punishing. Taurus energy can be punishing, just period. And what that looks like is just somebody or something, a situation sitting in the corner and just brooding over a situation or a thing, a person in which they didn't get their way. Be careful. Be careful of that on Wednesday. And that's the only real thing we can talk about, because that's the only real aspect that's going down. You want to have an emotional standoff with somebody because the day prior they took your power? I don't know. Should we waste time doing that when the earth is moving so freaking fast? Or should we utilize Mercury's power this week and learn how to communicate and say what you really mean, and mean what you say? And do your best to back it up with some kind of actions. I hope y'all understand the way that I forecast and the way that I'm giving you this information, because it's actually flowing into each other. Questions, please ask. On Wednesday, also, the sun is quincunx to Neptune. Your ego is irritated by your imagination. So here comes Neptune in Pisces, trying to get his feelings hurt, to be honest with you. Because again, if y'all didn't hear me say this 16 million bazillion times, Neptune in Pisces in this past season, and I'm saying the season is like the last 2 years, 2.5 years, have been saving us, keeping us spiritual as much as possible. But the sun is not really fucking with that on Wednesday. Leo is like, listen, I understand that you're coming in with this kumbaya shit and we trying to reach our ancestors and meditate and talk spirit, but it's time to be loud and proud and be out there. It's time to not be as humble as we thought we were. I know that's a weird saying and something weird to say grammatically, but the bottom line is there's a line. There's a line on Wednesday, and you've probably been feeling it. Like, do I need to be humble? Do I need to be humble, or should I just be proud in everything? I'm tired of apologizing. I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of apologizing. I'm tired of trying to prove my light, myself, my worth to people, is what that's saying. You understand what I mean? However, and the ego goes, Sun in Leo says, so I'm just going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to be proud and courageous in doing that thing. Nothing's wrong with being proud and courageous, in my opinion. However, some never, we still need people. However, some never, you still have to pull back in a sense and find the humility in all that you do, and the humanity in all that you do, and be as humble as possible while being courageous, while being forthright. There's a delicate balance. Why? Because that's the language of spirit. Humility is the language of spirit, whereas ego and being courageous in certain things is the language of the human. And when they come together at the right line, there's an awesome execution that happens, right? But as human beings, we do our best to go back, and we kind of vacillate back and forth, back and forth. Am I being egotistical and fuck y'all, I'm gonna do what I want to do, I'm a bad bitch? Or am I sitting back and I'm humble, I'm gonna take the hits, I'm gonna get it on my chin this time? You got to find a way to find the balance is the point. So don't get irritated on Wednesday by you trying to find that balance of being humble and having that courage to pull forth, that fire to pull forth in what it is that you're doing right now, push forth in what it is that you're doing right now. All right, that's a serious word. I just want to say that came through kind of strong. On Thursday, the moon will continue to be in Taurus. Whew. Here we go. Mercury is being quincunxed by Saturn on that day. Frustrating to communicate the pain and the fears. Mercury being affected again. Because of Saturn and the pain and the fears and the lessons that are coming up about our dad often, or about the things our dad did or did not do because that's Saturn, right? About our boundaries and the boundaries that we want to implement, but at the same time, we want to continue to have friends. We want to continue to be in love, so to speak. There's irritation. There's a confusion that's going on around that. How should I pull forth? How should I say these things? Again, get a thesaurus. Again, utilize your words. Pay attention to how you say things. And if you can't say it properly, I know I talked shit about like texting earlier, but maybe in an email to set it up so you can be clear. Or if you don't want to send the email and if you want to be clear to the person, write it out for yourself first in a journal like situation. Talk it out through your own brain first. So when you say what you say and you mean what you say, it's clear. It's clear and you're not fumbling, because Mercury, quincunxed in Saturn is a fumble. Because I do want to say what I want to say, but I'm frustrated in the fact that I can't find the words and saying it. And goddamn, where's that thesaurus? You know what I mean? You're like, I need to get it out, and I'm a good person, so my feelings are not matching my words right now. That's Thursday. You dig what I'm saying? So write it out to yourself, meditate it on your own, maybe wait till Friday in order to communicate it. I'm looking at Friday, make sure it's good as far as communication is concerned. Yes, wait till Friday, wait till the weekend. You understand what I mean? Will it be a little bit more favorable? But at the very least, just pay attention to how it's being said, right? Friday also, look at that. You may not, the moon is squaring, okay, Mercury is quincunxing Saturn. The moon is squaring Saturn, but then the moon is trining Mercury. That's a menage a trois. If I ain't never heard of one. Because your brain, Mercury, is being irritated by what's coming up, the fear of Saturn, right? But the moon is squaring the Saturn. So you're going to feel like not only are you going to be irritated by the things that are coming up and trying to find the words, but the feeling of it, again, is like what I said at the top of this. Oh, God, I got to feel this thing. I got to revisit this thing. Yes, boo-boo, you got to do it. Instead of being stubborn about it and holding back, and you say what you got to say. You say what you got to say. Everybody say what they have to say. And hopefully you can feel safe in doing that. But at the same time, the moon is trining Mercury. So you got to express yourself. The trine is the harmony, the feeling, moon, the Mercury being the brain, and this is harmony. So you got to say it. You have to get it off your chest. Again, just find the words and don't be blindsided by the fact that this pain or old pain keeps coming up. It's going to come up. We in the corners right now with the toothbrush. Remember, we getting the details of the pain that's coming up right now so we can learn how to react differently. You see the way I'm following this thing? And then at the end of Thursday, the moon and Neptune will come back together and your imagination will be sparked possibly once again. Please and very please keep Neptune on deck, because Neptune is a lifesaver, bringing us back to one, bringing us back to spirit, bringing us back to our core, ourselves. Right? On Friday, the moon and the sun, ego goes up against the fields. I'm just saying, just be careful, right? Whew, what else? On Friday, yeah. On Friday, the moon being in Taurus, it's going to trine Pluto. So the power structures or the fight that we may have had before that, you'll see the reason behind that, why the person challenged you or why you challenged them in order to stand your ground, Pluto, in order to be powerful, in order to transform. You'll see the reasons and you'll connect with it feelings wise on Friday. Okay. And at the same time, the moon is in conjunction with Mars. So once you get the understanding of, oh, okay, that's why we had that power trip. That's why we had that situation happening. That's why it was hard to transform. That's why blah, 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 blah. Pluto style, right? Getting my power back, standing in my power on my square. The same time on Friday, the moon is in conjunction with Mars. Now we're able to move. Now we're able to move on it. I got my power back. Now I'm able to move because Mars in Taurus and the moon in Taurus is coming together. Because the moon in Taurus and Pluto is coming together on Friday. So it's about how I feel. Like you put your backpack back on, you're like, all right, I'm ready, I'm solid, let's go. Let's walk this walk methodically, steadily, easily, in a way in which we do Taurus energy. Back on the quality of life, back on this North Node Uranus conjunction. You see where we're going? This week, it feels like just some verbal, weird ass desert terrain. And then we kind of, as this weekend comes up, we get right back on the road on the 405. It's probably going to be crowded. I'm just saying. Friday also, oh, I like that. The moon is going to sextile Jupiter. You're going to feel the Skittles again. Feel them gosh darn Skittles. Open up Friday for the opportunities. After you feel like you got your power back, now it's time to get the opportunities again, to get the optimism again, to feel good. And we can be feeling good throughout this entire week. But at the same time, again, certain things like little minds around us and they want to pop off. Don't allow it, please and very please. Saturday, Mars goes into Gemini, execute in compartments, info and social. What I put? And being social. It's time to get social. But again, it's time to stand behind Mercury information. Because again, Mercury is Gemini's planet, right? So with all this stuff going through Mercury and learning how to speak, compartmentalize, utilize our words, blah, 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 blah. Think differently, right? Everything I just said. Mars is coming up behind it going, yes, yes. Put some fever on that. It's good if you learn a new word. It's good if you can be able to utilize your words to help somebody feel better. It's good to use your words to plan, to strategize in compartments so you can move forward and do what you need to do. Maybe hold off on this particular project for a minute and give some energy to this project. Maybe hold off with these groups of friends for a second and give these groups of friends some energy because you haven't seen them in a couple of months or a year or so. You understand what I'm saying? It's about perspective. If y'all know anything about Gemini, it's about perspective. The real reason why Gemini has a hard time getting close to people emotionally because they like perspective. They want to be able to see you coming. They want to be able to figure it out. You understand what I'm saying? So that's Gemini energy. It's like as we move, as we're learning new words, as we're learning how to speak differently, we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to see what's best for ourselves and other people from a Gemini 50 feet perspective, socialized perspective, intellectual shit talk, negotiation, slight manipulation perspective. How are we going to rock this thing? How I'm going to move forward for real? I hope y'all understand this because I feel like you're kind of quiet, but y'all just listening, right? All right. On Sunday, oh, on Saturday, the moon and Venus gets together. That's nice. Feel the love pouring. Just to open up and allow love to come on through. Stop playing and stop being shorthanded when it comes to love, even though you may not feel like it, even though your brain may be saying, well, they cursed me out, or they did this, or they did that. What's saving the day is love, y'all, all day, every day. But especially when when the brain is plagued, or when our spirituality is plagued, and or when that fire energy is pushing us forward. Every now and again, we just need to know and to coat it with as much love as possible. And what does that look like? Just having a kind word for people, just being able to give people compliments, just being able to smile when you have to say something that's hard. You know, sometimes you really get on my nerves with that. And it comes from a loving space as opposed to sometimes you get on my nerves. And you understand what I mean? There's a way in which you can coat almost anything and everything with love. That's all I'm saying. On Sunday, the moon goes into Cancer at 8:29 p.m. on the east side of life. But before that, it's in Gemini, yep, and it's square in Neptune, and it's square in Mercury as well. So it's about that imagination being plagued again. Sunday is going to be a weird, not so Commodore's day. Meaning that we ain't sitting back kumbaya and on some Neptune, let's be lazy kind of thing. You're kind of fighting it. So there may be some things to do. There may be some again, rounding up information, since it's going to be in Gemini, rounding up information and understanding of what's happening. Um, and not feeling really good about that, feeling cloudy on Sunday. Take your time, just take your time and choose your words again. I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over and over and over. The moon will quincux Pluto. So who's in false power? And remember the perspective. Remember that people coming for us, man. The moon and the sun will come together on Sunday too. They're going to try. But the reason why I pause real quick, because I just felt a straight download, and then we're going to go into a quick couple of reads. Couple of quick reads. I just think that people are coming for us. And what I mean by that is that I said it last night, as a matter of fact, it just feels like from a general perspective and a societal perspective, as well as a personal perspective, right? That people do their best to manipulate in the way that they do, maybe 5 feet away from you. And then they come a little closer and they want to manipulate your brain. And then they come a little closer and they want to manipulate your heart. And then they come a little closer and they want to grab your soul. They want to snatch all the things that make you you. I know this may sound dramatic to you or a little bit over the top, but I'm saying pay attention. Pay attention to those that love you, and those that are strangers and that don't have nothing to do with you. Pay attention to the desperation that's there to help to change and manipulate and alter the way that you're thinking, the way who you are, and the way in which you want to be. People are questioning, oh, you were like this the other day. That was the other day. I've grown. You was like this last week. That was last week. I've grown. We are learning in this moment in time to keep not only boundaries on people, but healthy boundaries in a sense in which it doesn't get to our core, because that's where people are coming for. Why? Because the planet is moving too fast, and we are being summoned to learn quicker than quick. And some people are not in a space to learn that quick. Some people are not in a space to learn their emotional situations, their spiritual lessons, and their emotional lessons, their traumas, whatever. They don't want to do it, and they don't want to do it quickly. But we're all being forced out the door, so to speak. Does this make sense? So when they can't do it for themselves, they grab your arm and take you down. They grab at your body and weigh you down. They come for your heart and start poking the bear. We have to be very, very mindful of what is a poke, what is our responsibility, and the shit where you got to go, it's not mine. That's on you. Think about it. That's on you. Does this make sense, y'all? I hope so. If anybody that wants a quick read, and thank y'all for being in here, I appreciate it. Please share this information if you can, if it's hit you some kind of way. Really. Y'all know I come in here sometimes hella goofy and high off green tea, and I'm a Cancer. Sometimes I come in here just mellow as fuck. Today's a mellow day, but I hope the information just hits you the same way as I try to freestyle it. I was gonna take y'all there, but I'm too tired. All right, Luana Helena. Cancer sun, Cancer rise, and Sagittarius moon. Now that's some kind of combination right there. It really, really is. That Cancer sun and that Cancer rise. First of all, whenever your sun is the same as your rise, if y'all don't know this, it's almost like you can't hide. Because normally your rising is hiding you from your sun. Your rising is basically protecting what your sun is and the other aspects of your chart. When you have the same sun and the same rise, you are what you are. You show who you are. There is no protection, so to speak. And it being Cancer, oh, you're welcome, Life Dance. I appreciate you saying that. It's being Cancer. It's a lot of emotional information. And if y'all didn't know, and I haven't said this in a long time, that Cancer energy, honey pie, is like a sponge. Pisces too, when it's on the rise, but Cancer goes out and with its antennas, the crab's antennas, absorb everything when it's on the rise. It absorbs people's emotion in Trader Joe's. It absorbs your husband's energy, your wife's energy all day long. You don't even have to be in the house with them, and you'll feel them from down the street. It absorbs everything and everybody. And then the Cancer sun in you wants to take care of them, and then you hold on to it. Now, watch around your breast area, your chest area, because even though that's a Cancer's meridian, it also can work as a weak spot. So make sure your lungs are good. Make sure you get checked, because as a Cancer rise and a Cancer person, you're holding all of that stuff in Cancer meridians. So watch yourself. And then the moon in Sag, which I always love in a sense, because it always keeps the party going. It always keeps you optimistic. It always keeps you shaking shit off. So that's a beautiful thing in essence, because that Cancer energy wants to hold on to it. And then your emotional reaction is like, fuck it, let's have a party. Fuck it, it'll be fine. However, allow yourself to cry and grieve and get it out when you need to. Allow yourself to unring, or I should say, wring out the sponge, because that moon in Sag at some time will be, will react in a way, I wouldn't say denial, but it's dismissive, because moon and Sag energy is always trying to get back to the happy, always trying to get back to the comedian, always trying to get back to the funny truth, always trying to go forward, right? Whereas Cancer is always going back, right? But if Cancer's going back and moon and Sag is going forward, who the fuck is present? That's a real question for you, sweetie pie. Who's going to keep you present in the moment? And sometimes that moon and Sag will react so much, it will allow you to want to forge first, but you don't pay attention, or I should say forge forward, but you don't pay attention to the emotions as developing in the moment. Take care of yourself and washing off the emotions that you hold on every day as a ritual, so that moon and Sag don't get you fucked up and have you passing by emotional developments or undevelopments or whatever the things that you need to go through in order to go through, so the Cancer can be healthy. Because remember, you're not Sag, you are a Cancer. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. All right. You know what, D King? I will not do that. And thank you for asking that question. D King asked, can I do my son? He has these particular aspects. And the reason why is because if your son is not present, I'm not the type of person who gives information with people not present. And I say that in regards to my not unless he's here and he's listening. If he's here and he's listening, correct me, and D King, we can go for it. If not, I'd rather do you or somebody that's present on this thread. Now, here's the other part of that. If y'all ever book a couples reading with me, I do couples readings and I love them, to see how two people come together, your spouse, you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, even two best friends, you and your mom or whatever, right? They both have to be present, because people need to defend themselves. I think it's necessary to have them present so they can defend themselves and they can explain themselves, and they can because to me it feels like I'm talking behind their back, and I have way too much integrity to say anything positive or negative, anything that's healthy or that's healing behind someone's back, so to speak, and them not present to hear it and absorb it for themselves and to get their own perspective. Because sometimes meanings get lost in translations, and we start putting our own personal spin on some shit based on what Sonia said. And that's not really how Sonia said it. I said it in this way. They have to be able to hear it how they need to hear it and defend themselves in that way. I hope that makes sense. Oh, he is listening? Okay, cool. I'm glad I said that though, and I hope y'all get that information, because that's just who I am. I'm gonna be straight up and down with that. But if he is truly listening, D King, I will read his situation. Leo sun, Scorpio moon, and Leo rising. So again, he is a Leo and he protects himself like a Leo. He's very, very gregarious, really, really out there. I love Leo energy because it's courageous, it's generous, it's forthright, it's like I said, gregarious, my word for the month. But it's also proud and Leo energy. And I'm sorry, what's his name? Can you put his name up there for me, please? Because I'd like to address him if he's in the room. Um, Leo energy has high expectations, though. And a lot of times, Leo energy can get disappointed by people and by situations, by their own development, right? Because they expect They expect, what's his name, D King? They expect a little bit more, or I should say, they expect different. Let me put it that way. They expect different. Why? Because the Leo is energy is a sun. I always say this, and I say it jokingly, but it's some real shit. The sun is the bomb, David. The sun is the bomb, sweet David. The sun takes care of the whole universe. If the sun dropped out of the sky, we all be fucked up. And that's the energy of Leo people and Leo energy, especially when it's on your rise and you are a Leo. So you walk in the room like, bitch, y'all need me. Y'all need me. Y'all need me to shine because I'm a Leo and I'm here. The party is on. However, some never. We expect for everybody else, oftentimes, with that Leo energy, for other people to shine as well in the way that that sun shines. And it can't. It can't. It will not. It's not capable. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to be easy on people when they don't shine like you. And then, David, if your moon is in Scorpio, that's a challenge. Leo energy and Scorpio energy is very, very challenging. Now, I'm not trying to put anybody on blast, but you have to know this, and this is something that you and your mom can talk about, right? When people are born with moon in Scorpio, they have very interesting emotional connections with their mother or with their family. And with the moon being in Scorpio and it challenging who he is, it's almost like that connection with women, be it UD as his mom or any other woman in his life, developed his emotional ability, which goes against who he really is. So there's a battle between his emotional ability to release and his ability to be big like a Leo. There's a battle. Who does he pay attention to? The females who want to be emotional and blow stuff up, or himself? Yourself, David. I'm just saying. Sonia is deep. And I'm going to leave it like that because I don't want to get too deep and I don't want to begin to intuit and see what it is that I see for y'all. Book a read if you like. If not, it's okay. But at the very least, have a conversation based on what I just said. And look up Moon in Scorpio. Moon in Scorpio natal chart. Google it, and all this information will come up, David, for you to understand yourself more, because your emotional abilities can be a little what's the word? Eruptive, right? You can erupt based on the fact that your ego, your sun, that Leo energy is not getting what it wants. And then there's the problem. You can erupt. Should I be emotional? Should I not be emotional? Should I handle this like my mother would? Should I not handle it like my mother would? Should I handle it like my family would? Or should I just shine and be like, I'm going to be who I'm going to be? You could do all of that, but you got to understand that a lot of that balance and that imbalance is coming from you learning how to deal with your emotionality and learning how to deal with your core and who you are. There's a fight inside there, honey bun. So figure that out, okay? I hope this makes sense, and I hope this shed just a little bit of light. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. Anybody have any questions as I roll on out here? Hi, Vonnie. How you doing? I hope that helped you. Yep, 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 yep. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get on out. Love you, Roxy. I love all of y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Yep, yep. If you want to get a read, please hit me up at wordlifeastrology.com. Couples reads, individual reads, whatever kind of read. Be easy and use your words this week, all right? Watch your thoughts and allow it to align with your heart so you can say what you really, really feel. Mwah.